Great. And now joining us on the guest line, Jason Barrett. He's a candidate for Senate District 39. That would be in southwest Mississippi, the seat previously held by Senator Sally Doty. Good morning, Jason. Thanks for coming on.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Yes, sir. So running for the seat that Senator Doty once held, she was, of course, promoted to a position within the Reeves administration. How many candidates are there vying for this seat?
Yes, sir, Mr. Giver. I believe there are 8 candidates.
8, okay. Wow. And when is the election? Is there a special election?
Yes, sir. It's a special election that will be held September 22nd.
September 22nd. Got you. Jason, tell our listeners a little bit about your background, and then also share your overall governing philosophy.
Yes, sir. I'm 42 years old. I live in Brookhaven, Mississippi. I am currently an attorney. I've been practicing law now since 2007. Prior to that, I was a high school teacher, football coach, track coach, even though I may not look like it, and a softball coach.
Wow.
I have a beautiful wife, Brandy. She's a former Brandy Edwards of Monticello, Mississippi. I have 2 children, Emmy Barrett, and my son is John Henry Barrett.
Mm-hmm.
My governing philosophy is, I think government should be ran from the citizens up instead of from bureaucracy down. So I'm a conservative Republican, and that's basically who I am in a nutshell.
So what's your position on the size and scope of government, taxes, regulations, and so forth? Just giving your statement about the basic running philosophy, or the philosophy about running government, which sounds like you would be in favor of lower taxes, less regulations, just less government intrusion in our lives. Is that an accurate statement?
Yes, sir, that's accurate. I am in favor of smaller government, lower taxes. Yes, sir, you hit the nail on the head.
Awesome. So, have you been watching the DNC any this week along those lines?
No, sir. I honestly, I haven't. I have been keeping up with it on through various forms of, I try to read as much as I can.
Yeah.
I've been reading about it, but I have not watched any notes, or I have not.
Yeah. Jason, if you were to be fortunate to be elected in this seat, what would be your priorities as a member of the Mississippi Senate?
Yes, sir. Well, I think education is certainly a foundational building block for society.
Mm-hmm.
I think infrastructure for Southwest Mississippi is important. I think in the times that we're in right now, rural broadband would be important. Certainly increasing jobs.
Mm-hmm.
Having a stable economy and a strong tax base would be beneficial for not only Southwest Mississippi but the whole state.
Yeah, and my position on that has always been that Mississippi needs to have a greater stake in the knowledge economy. That we continue to sit at the bottom in terms of per capita income and household income. I've always felt like that was really the most accurate metric in measuring economic growth and the overall economic prosperity and welfare of our state. What do you think we ought to do to get Mississippi to be a greater participant? It's been talked about probably more this year maybe than ever. We have these fantastic institutions of higher learning, and we educate much of our population, and of course a lot of folks come here from out of state as well, only to lose them to the other states upon graduation. What can we do to stimulate and to grow, boost that part of our economy, do you think, from a government perspective?
Yes, sir. Well, I certainly think that we can boost it by improving the economic well-being of Mississippi. And with that improves the quality of life of the community.
Mm-hmm.
I think if we diversify the economy a little bit, I think it's going to create and certainly help retain jobs that a lot of these qualified graduates that may go outside of the state may keep them home.
Yeah. So go ahead. I'm sorry, Jason. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. No, sir. And I was just kind of referring back. I remember you speaking at the former Kiwanis, which is now Cervidian of Brookhaven, when you spoke on the Mississippi Lottery. Those are somewhat some points you touched on there, and I found them to be very very credible, and I certainly share your opinion on that.
Great, and I appreciate that. So, Jason, how would you said there are a total of 8 candidates in the race. How would you, without naming any of the other candidates, how do you distinguish yourself? What sets you apart?
Well, I am not a politician. I am running, and I'm sure you hear this all the time, but I like to pride myself on having or being a man of high integrity, being a Christian man, and I want to give people a voice for Southwest Mississippi. Not only a voice and not only a voice. I guess what I want to be is a conduit for the people from Southwest Mississippi to Jackson, and I want that to be heard not only in Jackson, but at the ballot box as well. I think that's what sets me apart.
Yeah. So, how do you, when you're out campaigning, I assume you're doing what you can, given this COVID era that we're enduring.
Yes, sir. It can be difficult and trying at times. Yes, sir. What
are you hearing from the constituents in your area, in the district, Jason? What are they telling you they need you to focus on? As you mentioned, you would be the conduit, which I certainly believe that's the underlying principle of representative government. What are they telling you?
Yes, sir. A lot of people feel like they have lost their voice. Mm-hmm. And they certainly feel like because of their lost voice, they're vulnerable. Some are upset, and I think it's an appropriate time to give people the opportunity to express themselves.
Mm-hmm. So, would it be then your approach, again, if you're elected, have you made it apparent and communicated to the constituents there that you would be accessible, that you would listen to their needs, and you would carry those needs into the chamber with you?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, absolutely. I have made that apparent, and, just in brainstorming different ideas, we live in a time of smartphones, social media. You can access the World Wide Web at the touch of a finger and create a poll or a survey for possibly members of the district, and whether it's allowing them to vote on a survey on a website that may be created. Mm-hmm. I think there are ways. If everybody puts their minds together, we can come up with ways to give people the voice that they truly want. I mean, people want to be heard, and they want to feel like they have a say-so in what's going on.
Sure. Final question.
Not being force-fed.
Thank you, Jason. Final question.
Yes,
what do you think about the flag change? Where would you stand had you been seated?
Well, I think... and as you know, Mr. Gibbert, we are governed by past precedent. The past precedent was the people had a voice, And again, that voice has been taken away, so I certainly think the people should have a voice.
Got it. Thank you so much for joining us. Jason Barrett, candidate for Senate, District 39, special election, September 22nd.